Hello, my friends. Have a great time. Lesson 1 and Lesson 2. My friends, you're keeping up well, right? Yes. In Lesson 2, we learned about the blessings God has given me, what purpose I have, and how we should share the blessings given to us with the people of the world for God's glory. We also learned to live for the purpose God has given us, for His glory. Now, shall we try to follow along with what Lesson 3 is about today? The theme of Lesson 3 is There is something only I must do. Let's all say it together. There is something only I must do. Yes, very well done. Knowing that God has entrusted each of us with a task and that there is something only I can do. What is it that only I must do? This is the theme we will learn today. So, what message has God given us today? Let's all together, with a happy heart, let's listen to God's message together at this time. Now, my friends, today we will explore how we should fulfill God's work before God, who has created everything and entrusted us with our tasks. Shall we follow along with the teacher? Now, raise your hands. Yes, very well done. Now, shall we make our hands sparkle? Yeah, very well done. And with these hands, we can dance, do gymnastics, and hold anything. Now let's move our feet. Thump, 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 thump. Yes, we can stomp the ground and our legs can take us anywhere. Let's also try moving our arms over our shoulders. Oh, well done. Hands and arms each do different exercises. Now both hands and arms do different exercises. And let's move our stomachs too. Oh, yes. And since we've moved our stomachs, shall we also try twisting our waists? Yes. Our bodies perform very different exercises from each position. So, God, okay, who gave humans health, made us in such an interesting way. Now, let's try moving our heads too. We move our heads as well. All exercises now come from each of our positions. Each exercise is done in its own way, and all these movements are performed by hands, legs as legs, each doing their part. God created our bodies in this way. In my body, the hand plays the role of a hand, and it can take on the role of a leg. Legs can't do the work of hands, and hands can't do the work of legs. God considers each and every one of us precious. He made us very special, didn't he? And he gave us each tasks that we can handle. Then we might want to do what others can do, thinking, that friend can't do what I can do. We shouldn't have such selfish thoughts. We should be thankful for the grace God has poured into us just as we are. Shall we then look into the Bible to see what stories it contains? Yes. Now, it was the story of the Israelites. When Moses went before God, God spoke to Moses. Let the descendants of Levi assist the priests in the work of the tabernacle. What did God say? Yes, that's right. He entrusted the descendants of Levi with the work in the tabernacle. What kind of place is the tabernacle? It is a place to worship God and meet Him and connect with Him. The tabernacle is where the Israelites offer their possessions to God, meet Him there, and connect with Him spiritually. God provided a place for the Israelites to offer everything they have before Him and meet Him in a sacred manner. And He instructed them to build such a tabernacle to meet with the Israelites. And He commanded to keep God's word and to obey it. And He entrusted the tasks to be done in the tabernacle to the descendants of Levi. Uncle Levi had 3 sons named Kohath, Gershon, and Merari. And God assigned specific tasks in the tabernacle to the descendants of Kohath, Gershon, and Merari. And whenever the Israelites moved, the tabernacle moved with them. And he also divided the responsibilities for moving the tabernacle among them. Also, God commanded the priest Aaron and his sons to cover all the sacred items when moving the tabernacle. That's right. The sacred items could not be seen or touched by anyone. Why? Because it is the holy place where God dwells. So God assigned the task of preparing to move the sacred items to the priest Aaron and his sons. Only they were allowed to handle the sacred items. Once the priests finished their preparations, the other descendants had to move the various items of the tabernacle as God had assigned to them. God commanded. The Kohathites were to carry all the sacred items of the sanctuary that Aaron and his sons had covered. The Gershonites were to carry the curtains, coverings, and ropes of the tabernacle. The Merarites were to carry the wide expanse of the tabernacle, its pillars and bases. That's right. All these descendants must align with their roles. The priests, Aaron and his sons, were responsible for instructing and overseeing the tasks assigned to the other descendants, ensuring they could perform their duties well. Everyone did the work God entrusted to them. Dear friends, in this way, we are all different. There are things we excel at differently, and some people might not realize that they are special, but don't forget that God made you special. So don't compare yourself to others, or let that upset you. And don't be envious at trying to become like them. Always remember that there is a unique task God has entrusted to you. God cherishes and loves each and every one of our friends so dearly. I hope you remember that the tasks God has entrusted to our friends are all precious. Now, follow along with the teacher. Together, there is a task. I have something to do. Well done. Now, try it like this. I am used by God. God entrusts a unique task to me, empowering all of us, and I am used by God. The unique task God has entrusted to me. Yes, only I can do that task. Now, again, I am used by now God. Only I can do the unique task God has entrusted to me. Let's all accomplish the task God has entrusted to each of us. Now, let's all gather our strength and succeed in the task God has entrusted to us. Then let's have another enjoyable time. Now, see you in part 4 at Chat 4. Thank you. Bye-bye.